I'm a nutritionist by profession, but in Bioversity I've been looking at assessing the potential contribution of banana-based systems to nutrition of smallholder households in East Africa.
How important is banana for nutrition in these countries?
It's the major diet, like in other countries where you have like maize. In these countries, especially Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda, and Congo, it is their major staple. Like if you go to a household, you'd find that a day doesn't go without someone consuming bananas. And if there's a problem with bananas, then people are food insecure, It's like their major part of the diet. And they not only use it for food, it's also where they get their income, That is like their source of livelihood.
Bananas are full of energy, but do they also contain other micronutrients, minerals and vitamins that people need?
Yeah, okay. Energy is one of the major nutrients, like the macronutrients, the carbohydrates. But we all have read about the bananas being rich in potassium. Like one banana could supply around 602 or 600 milligrams of potassium. But then you also have some other micronutrients that are good, and they are being predicted to be in bananas. We are talking about things like carotenoids. Carotenoids are, these are nutrients that can be converted to vitamin A in the body, So some varieties and preliminary studies that have been done in varieties in Papua New Guinea and the Philippines have shown that bananas could also be potential sources of micronutrients. So basing on the fact that they're the major starchy sources, if then it can be found that they're also good in micronutrients, then they could be the best to be used for such fast tracking approaches to try and take care of micronutrient deficiencies.
So what kinds of things has the project started off by doing?
Yeah, what I've been able to do so far is to establish their dietary patterns. How are they consuming these bananas? Are they eating the bananas with other foods? Are they preparing the bananas in a way that is good for retaining the nutrients? So we've done studies on dietary intake, dietary patterns. How often do households consume bananas? How are they consuming them? Things like that, just to find out the dietary patterns. Then we've also done studies on the most popular banana cultivars, so that we can see, are those that are being preferred by the community, could they be also higher in these micronutrients, or is it that they're preferring those that are lower and leaving out those that could be potentially good for them? So we've had those preliminary studies, we have the findings, we have some little bit of the results, but we're still working.
You've shown that people tend to sell plantains in the market, even though those plantains are actually more nutritious than the bananas they eat at home. What do you think you can do about that?
It's just making them know, They don't know that plantains are nutritionally better. They just think about it as the money they get from it, But if they can be told that what you're selling to the market could even be better at your houses, then that would make them use it. It's because they don't know, You just find that, and the culture has been that mostly they eat the East African Highland bananas. These are the cooking bananas. So you find that they'll eat them and sell. It's not that plantains are not being eaten. They are being eaten, but by a different group of people. So if we can make the rural household know that these plantains could be very good for their health, since they're already growing them, then they would reduce the percentage that is being sold to the market, or maybe increase the acreage, produce more of them so that even if they still have to sell them to the market, they still have something to use at household level.
You seem pretty optimistic.
Yeah, at the moment as nutritionists, we are looking at food-based approaches. And in my mind, I'm thinking of food-based approaches, and especially basing on the most used staple. We could be able to come up with infant food, an infant food that can be made from just the banana, the plantain, just to make sure that apart from because they consume the bananas, but they consume the cooking bananas, and maybe the infant food is not made in a way that it will serve several purposes for the child. So I'm really optimistic, and if we put in more effort, it's going to come. But we're still waiting for the results, which are really promising. I'm seeing good results that we don't have to just consume the bananas alone, although I'm saying they have good nutrients. Yes, we will encourage people to consume them, but then we're also going to encourage them to consume them together with other foods. You know, if you're talking about nutrition, you can't just talk about one food item. So we'll encourage dietary diversity at household level, good cooking methods, you know, and this also goes about food safety and hygiene, just to make sure that you get the best out of what you have.
And